Today I fucked up by asking if my husband can get an erection without pharmaceutical help. A little backstory so my fuck up isn't completely out of the blue. My husband, 33M, and I, 28F, have had a bit of a dead bedroom situation for the past 2 years due to him being medically unable to have sex for 1.5 years and then for the past 6 months just kind of struggling to get back in the swing of things. To be clear, I have initiated sex 100% of the time for the last 5 years of our 6.5-year relationship. He said to always assume that he wanted sex, but that is not always the case. He has chronic health issues and also, completely understandably, is not always in the mood. Regardless, I took responsibility for the dead bedroom and lowered my antidepressant dosage to kickstart my libido. It worked, but then, even though he should have been physically fit enough, he had difficulty getting and or maintaining an erection. So then he got a Viagra prescription. We tried it once to great success. Seemed like we finally had the light at the end of the tunnel. Hallelujah. Today, I asked him if he wanted to have sex. He said yes and took his medicine. Since it takes a bit to kick in, I walked the dogs to kill time. ETA, I did not realize he took it right away. I knew that he was planning on taking it. So when I got back from walking the dogs I wasn't sure if he had taken it or not. When I got back, we started getting excited and he suggested that we go ahead and start. Here's the fuck up. I said wait, can I what? Can you have sex without it? Meaning before it kicks in. Yes. Now, this wouldn't have been so much of a fuck up if the conversation had stopped there. We were still giggly and horny and he wasn't upset. But I am an idiot. I kept going. No, seriously. Can you have sex without it? Yes. His frown should have slowed me down. It did not. Yeah, but can you really? Can you actually get an erection? Yes, I can. Can you though? I'm pretty sure my face and tone was the exact copy of the Thor is it though meme. At this point he was fed up with my bullshit and called off the whole thing. I realized my fuck up and apologized profusely, but I had insulted a man's penis. That transgression is not forgiven lightly. So now he's not talking to me, except to make veiled threats about finding someone who will appreciate him. And I'm alone on the couch. Too long didn't read. Everyone loses because I couldn't take the man at his damn word that his penis worked. Edit, obviously I'm a total idiot for continuing to ask, and an insensitive jerk. That's why I'm here instead of Ita. However, I put the backstory of him having erectile dysfunction for the past 2 years to try to explain why I kept asking, even though it was 100% the jerk thing to do. Update, my husband has forgiven me. Amazingly our marriage was not ended over a singular incident of me being a complete idiot jerk face. Tomorrow we'll try again, and I won't question the man about his dick for as long as we both shall live. Update 2, this really blew up so I'm going to answer the top types of comments here. 1. Why did you ask him 5 times? Short answer, I'm an idiot sometimes. Long answer, I misread the situation. We were joking around and I didn't realize how sensitive the topic was. I also was confused because he got the prescription because he was having ed and then he was acting like he didn't have ed. 2. You're a terrible person, your marriage is over, and or get therapy. People make mistakes. This is today I fucked up not I am a fuck up. Our marriage is solid and I'm usually the empathetic one out of the two of us. Sometimes you fuck up and have to learn from it and move on. 3. You're ugly and his ed is your fault. I hope every commenter is treated with the same kindness and compassion they give others. My husband suffered with ed for a couple of months when we were much younger. It's the sort of thing that happens once, then it gets into your head and makes it more difficult to achieve an erection each time. We did talk about it sometimes, but what worked for us was just fooling around with no pressure, and no expectation of full sex. If I mentioned it right before sex, or during, that certainly would have triggered the ed. You know you've fucked up, but just for the future try to keep things as relaxed as possible, even if that means just doing foreplay. Definitely do not mention his erection, or lack of, during. Ironically, you asking your husband 5 times if his dick can move was a dick move. Well you hard charged right into that one. Does IT work? Does IT work little man? Exclamation mark. Sissy boy can't get hard for mommy anymore? Question mark. Your only fuck up was not believing him multiple times. It's not about the dick, it's about beating a dead horse. The horse is not dead. How many times does he need to say that? This is the rare today I fucked up about not having sex. Today I fucked up by engaging sex with my boyfriend while I was actually asleep. First off, once I woke up fully and realized my boyfriend is with me and not some monster slash stranger slash creature from underneath my bed, we were fine. So no assault story coming in, just a funny fuck up. Sleepwalk, talk or even do tasks when I am asleep. The bad part is, I will walk around with my eyes open, sometimes respond correctly to questions, when I am close to being awake, and even have managed to do the dishes at night one time. There is no safe way to tell if I am asleep, even my family who lived with this problem for years cannot tell most of the time. So don't hate my boyfriend of 5 months for not knowing. There are days where it is worse, mostly when I am stressed, which leave me with a rough sleep pattern for about a week. This week was one of them. Every night before that was already filled with talking, moving, which normally does not wake my boyfriend anymore. Not too long ago I turned around in bed, slapped my boyfriend's ass, said nice and went back to sleep. I do not remember this upon waking up, so I am always ashamed to hear stories like this. Leading up to this mishap I also randomly kissed him on the cheek at night. Both of these incidents must have set me up. When I think about stuff I do at night, it usually spirals the next night into the same action but worse. If that makes sense. I do not remember this clearly, only what was told to me and what I could piece together by my dreams. But around half an hour after we went to sleep I turned around to my boyfriend and started kissing him. This fits with my dream as I wanted to wish him a good night in my dream. According to my boyfriend we got heated fast, and not being one to say no to a late night sex he was down for it. But just as he was above me, to kiss me again and take it further, I woke up fully. Touching me and or moving me too much will wake me up. Now not only am I easily scared, I also wear glasses and can't see shit at night as I am not wearing them. Waking up confused, with someone above you and no idea where, when and who you are left me with a pretty big shock. Safe to say not only did I scare myself enough to cry, I also gave my boyfriend a massive guilty conscience because I was not awake and he did not notice. Not only that, but upon learning that I was the one who woke him up to fuck, also made me quite ashamed. I already have a fear of sleeping around strangers or other people, so this does not help. We talked about it, found a way to check next time if I am awake. Pinching me in the side wakes me up, and are now laughing about it. But oh boy, that night was a roller coaster. Too long didn't read, I started kissing my boyfriend in the middle of the night, while I was sleeping. This is normally my way to engage sex, so he was down for it, which led to me fully waking up, crying from confusion and scaring the shit out of my boyfriend who thought I wanted to fuck. Edit, thank you all for your tips and for the people who have experienced the same issues. The pinching is last resort. I can also not understand jokes when I am asleep, and with my boyfriend being a big jokester this helps a lot. A safe word was suggested but that did not help me, but could work for someone else. So please, for anyone with the same problem, try it. Why it did not work for me? My family did that. They gave me a word I should use when they meet me roaming around at night to signal that I am awake and only getting snacks/air. Well, that worked a few times, but then my sleep brain told me that this was the passage word to be allowed to walk around at night, and so I just screamed that word at everyone I meet while being asleep. And for the kind people concerned about my boyfriend, he is lurking this thread and fine with what happened. We also talked about the fact that he lives in constant dangers of ass slapping now, and he gave his consent for me to compliment his ass by saying nice at night. Not too long ago I turned around in bed, slapped my boyfriend's ass, said nice and went back to sleep. Apparently I've done similar to my girlfriend in my sleep. She said at one point I rolled over, slapped twice and grunted out ass, slapped 2 more times followed by good, then rolled back over and resumed snoring. That is the most lovingly caveman shit I have ever read. Sounds scary, but glad you figured out a way to check next time. Yep, it was really scary for a second, but now I live in fear of constant side pinches when we are about to get it on. Embarrassed smiley face. Not too long ago I turned around in bed, slapped my boyfriend's ass, said nice and went back to sleep. This had me dying. I had an ex-boyfriend like this. He initiated sex several times while asleep. He'd usually wake up in the early stages, like while kissing or humping me in his sleep. When he woke up, we mostly just went with it. Yay, sex. Well, I'm a light sleeper, so his nighttime movements usually woke me. One night, I woke to him hovering over me, nuzzling and kissing lightly on my neck, kind of lightly grinding on me. Okay, go time. I was really getting into it. He suddenly stopped, pulled back his head, and looked at me. I figured that was him waking up. Nope. Instead, he motorboated me loudly, then flopped heavily off me, turned his back, and went to sleep. This is one of our favorite stories. Heart. I'm not the only one. This is how my fiance and I finally got together. I put the moves on him in my sleep. Oh my god, I'm just thrilled to know you exist. Today I fucked up by taking my pants off in the background of my SO's video call. So this did actually happen today. My SO, F, is currently preparing to take the bar exam in July and was required to perform a practice exam to make sure the computer she's taking the test on would operate the software properly. When she started the practice test, she was unaware that both camera and microphone would be on until it had already begun and that the recording would be shared with the bar examining people. Came home from work while she was mid-test and I thought she was just studying, so I didn't bother her. She didn't want to turn and tell me she's being recorded. I guess she had to treat it like the real thing and not speak to me, and was hoping I wouldn't do anything ridiculous while she was in the middle of the test. So I of course begin doing some typical tasks for when I get home: play with my dog, rub his belly, wash dishes, make tons of other noise. But of course today was a hot, sweaty, moist day, and boy was I feeling it between my legs. I mean, my junk might as well have been superglued to my thigh all day. And what better place to relieve myself of that feeling than the comfort of my own home? So I stand in the middle of my kitchen, right in her camera background, and I drop my pants and give the boys some breathing room. Felt great. I grabbed a paper towel and even cleaned my sweaty dick and also balls up a bit, and then prepared to walk my dog. Not 5 minutes later my SO tells me she was on camera that whole time, and the bar examining people will now receive a recording of me making a fuck ton of noise and dropping my pants to my ankles to cool off my sweaty man meat. Too long didn't read. I took my pants off in the background of a recorded practice test, and my SO thinks she's going to be called into a pre-bar exam hearing to explain why I decided to dry my balls off right behind her in the view of the camera. Edit. Wow, didn't expect anyone to actually pay attention to this one. Thanks for the love and awards. She did apologize for not telling me in advance, and I apologized for getting naked in the kitchen randomly, but you gotta do what you got to do. Also, to those that mentioned, I do use ball deodorant. It was just so damn hot out I was sweating no matter what I did. Edit 2, exam committee got back to her this evening. No mention of the guy touching himself in the background, so I think we're good. Thanks for the support.